Every creator has a beginning. Before the videos, before the camera gear, before knowing what I was doing, there was just an idea. Welcome to Moi Motions. What's up, guys? So for like the last hour, 2 hours, I've been over here procrastinating making this video. So I've noticed my subscribing has been going up on YouTube, and I haven't really introduced myself to my audience. I have met other YouTubers where they say make vlogs, kind of connect with your audience. And as of right now, my channel profile doesn't have a picture of me. It just says Moi Motions. At the end of my shorts, I always put Moi Motions. And in some videos you hear welcome to Moi Motions. So really I started thinking, what is Moi Motion? So this video, pretty much as it's titled, welcome to Moi Motions, I want to give you a backstory to my followers, my future followers, or anyone that stumbled upon this on this video. I wanted to kind of go over what this channel is about, who I am, and when I'm going. In other words, basically making a short vlog right now. So I was going to cover a couple topics. I did write notes on my computer because if not, I go off topic. I tend to do rants, and in those rants, I just go from one place to another, and I don't stay on topic. So a couple things I wanted to go over. One point was, who is Moi? The second one is, where did it start? Third one is why this channel exists. And then chapter 4 is where we're going. So I also made these notes because I wanted to stay in place for the video I was making. I kept going over and over how I was going to say this video, what kind of script, certain thing I was going to go based on. But when I look at the videos that the other vloggers do, it's personal, like with their audience. So it looks like they're connecting with one another. So I don't want to sound too robotic. I do want to be genuine. I do want to tell my audience who I am. So first part, who is Moi? My name is Moises. My family has always called me Moi. I'm 28 years old. I work a regular job, and outside of work, I'm basically chasing apart something's become part of my life. I personally never saw myself as the creative type. I've always admired those that are like a creative, whether it be they can make poems, they could the people at school, they used to sketch on the drawing board. Those who could make rhymes, those who could just make a beat, those who were pretty much in anything creative, creatively. I personally, I felt like I was never that. I think a lot and I talk a lot, but I've never saw myself as a creative person. Like when I would look in class and see those people that would be doing sketchbooks, that would be doing a drawing, or someone, like I said, that can make like just a freestyle there and there. Yeah, I can't do that. I just didn't get that side of me, which is kind of ironic because I picked a hobby that I feel requires to do something creative or be creative. And picking up the camera has allowed me to bring out more of my creative side, think outside the box. Now, if I do need to think of an idea, I go for a walk without my phone or my headphones, and I just be thinking, and at least I'll go for like a 20-30 minute walk and let my thoughts just go wild. That's pretty much it with me on who I am. Again, I'm trying not to go off topic. Another big thing I used to do, I used to swim a lot. So pretty much anyone that went to high school with me and knew me during that time knew my identity was a swimmer. I was always swimming. In class, I would be looking at swimming videos. At the family parties, I'll be doing swimming videos. It even got cringy enough to the point, like if I was outside, like let's say with my friends going bowling or at the beach, outside the water, I'll be doing swim strokes. So they kind of knew me for doing that as well, which when I look back at it, it's pretty cringy. And during that time, I really was just obsessed with swimming. So this is all going to tailor back to this, what this whole video is about. I'm just trying to stay in place. So now we kind of get to the second part. Where did it all start? So this all started, what was this name? When I started filming, oh yeah, when I started filming, I had no idea what I was doing. This originally started as a podcast. So originally in like around 2000, at the end of 2022, 2020, beginning of 2023, I wanted to make a podcast. I would listen to Joe Rogan a lot, And I just kind of followed that trend. During that time, everyone was making a podcast. I wanted to make one too since I talk a lot. I'm like, hey, why not? So I started a podcast, and during that time, I decided to call it the Moi Motion podcast. I always go on rants about motivation, how to be better, how to stay consistent. So yeah, I decided to put Moises and Moises, short for what they always call me, motive to keep the motivation going, and just podcast. During that time, my friend started helping me. He told me I need to make a YouTube channel to help my page grow, my podcast grow. So I created a YouTube channel, the Moi Motion podcast. And then he started help me make promos. Damn. The only sucky part is that there's no AC in this side of the garage. So if I start sweating, bear with me. So he told me that I need to start making videos on YouTube or like promo videos to help promote my podcast. So he told me he'll help me since he's a videographer. We did a couple of them. After a while, I noticed I was shifting away from the podcast and now just wanting to do YouTube videos. So I decided to drop the podcast and just call it Moi Motive, the Moi Motive channel. During that time, I wanted to make different stuff. I was running during that time a lot, and I was trying to bike. I was trying to do a triathlon. So I told him to kind of capture videos of me doing my activities, and then we'll put it together. By the third or fourth video, I think he told me if I could give him a cut of the video. And at that time, I'm like, why? But then I felt bad because it is also my friend. He's helping me out. So yeah, I gave him a piece of, I paid him a bit for one of the videos. And then after that, I was kind of like doing, actually I was getting off topic. So after that, I was doing the math and wondering, okay, if I gave him this much and we do 5 more videos, I'm now losing money for something that was just supposed to be like a low-key hobby, because a lot of people didn't even know about the podcast. I was just uploading them. I was embarrassed about my friends knowing. I was also embarrassed about my family knowing. It was just something, cringe that I thought. But so I kept it low-key. Moi Motive was low-key as well. So when I did Moi Motive, and I started doing like the math of how much money I'll be using to hire him for the videography, I was like, yeah, maybe I can't do that. It's turning more into an expense than just a fun hobby. And then I just started thinking, why don't I do my own videos? There's a time where that name started shifting again to Moi Motive. And during that time, it started changing. It wasn't even becoming motivational anymore. I was pretty much doing just random things. 90% of those videos were not becoming of me traveling. Anytime I went out of state or out of the country, I would just upload videos of me traveling, make an edit on iMovie, and then upload them. So it wasn't even becoming Moi Motive anymore. And that leads to the next part. I kept seeing like niche. What's your niche? What is your channel about? What do you want to focus on? And I'm like, I have no idea. I barely even know what the name's about. I barely even know what the channel is going to be about. So I was just kind of lost what that means. Like, what do you mean? What's my niche? And it was, like I said, it was supposed to be a motivational channel. Oh my God, I hate that plane. There we go. So it was supposed to be a motivational channel, and then it wasn't really fitting what I was posting. At some point, my coworker, he told me, what's the name of my channel? He said Moi Motions. And I corrected him. I'm like, it's Moi Motive. So then after that is where I started thinking of that. I'm like, Moi Motions fits way better. It's like motion films, motion graphics. At that time, I was trying to now do actual like edits and make them look cool. So from there on, it became Moi Motions. And then the next thing was, what is my niche? Since I was a swimmer in high school, I love athletics and I love watching combat sports like boxing, MMA. I love watching all like the behind the scenes stuff, like the 24/7 when it was back in HBO with boxing, All Access when it became Showtime, and then UFC's great. How did I get? I don't know how I forgot the name of the UFC one that they do. Not All Access. I was about to say All Access. I watch Embedded. I remember those two. So I don't know why I just brain farted. Countdown. There we go. UFC Countdown. I watch those as well. So then it leads to that, like, why does this channel exist? So this now goes, I'm going to go through a little history behind me. So midway during college, I started wondering what I wanted to be. I knew I always wanted to be in finance. So I started applying since I was 18 to banks. Just have had no luck getting into banks. So I'm like, cool, maybe it's a sign I don't belong as a banker. which ironically I just became a banker like 3 months ago. So yeah, it took a little bit, but I applied to banks, had no luck. After stopping midway through college, my friend Alex invited me to Europe to go backpacking. I decided to go to Europe, and then during that time when I was there, it started making me think, well, what do I want to be? What do I want to do? There's a whole world out there. I don't know if I just want to be in an office all day. And then don't worry, this is not another sidetrack. I'm just pretty much gonna tailor right now why this channel exists. So during 2020, I was really excited because I got back into swimming and I got on my college swim team. I wanted to break all the personal best times that I had. March of 2020, obviously we know COVID happened and that didn't happen. My motivation for swimming went down, and I kind of got bummed out because I hadn't had motivation since then. I was excited about. I was always there early. I didn't miss a practice, but and for some reason after that, I've had no motivation to do anything. Either I still go to work and I'm still consistent, but it's not like I want to grow and I don't want to move up in any of the positions. I've kind of just been like, eh. And with everything, I've tried to run and I've been like, eh, I really don't care. I've tried to bike and I just haven't been into like swim. So at some point, I'm like, is that a wrap of like my life? Like, was that really the highlight that I really do I not want to try with anything else? Which is when this came into play. When I started getting my drone, I got into videography. I didn't like, just like anyone, I don't like getting out of my comfort zone. It's just, it's in human nature. You kind of don't want to get out of your comfort zone, but that's what makes you grow. So when I started looking into videography and I bought Final Cut Pro, I looked at all the buttons and I'm like, great. I closed my laptop. I did not want to do it. I opened it up. I went back on YouTube, started searching out how to do stuff. Little by little, I started learning. Luckily, my friend also was teaching me on the way that I went. I completely did not wear that right. So from there on, I went from a drone and then I got my camera. I didn't really want an expensive camera because I heard how expensive they are. I'm like, I don't want that. I thought at the time 800 was a lot. So I'm like, I don't want that. Instead, I got myself a DJI Osmo 3. When I got that, I started making other videos, more like vlogs, I guess. I started making them when I would go to Hawaii, when I went to Puerto Rico, when I went to Mexico. So I used it a lot during those times. And then finally, in March of this year, 2026, I decided to get a camera, the A7 IV. Now, with that, I was now able to kind of grow my channel a lot more. Not necessarily the camera, but it gave me a better tool. I went on a trip with my friend Adrian to Utah in November, and before that, I was posting pretty much every 3 to 4 months. I was wondering why my channel wasn't growing, and I wasn't being consistent. So after that, I went with him, and for some reason, that trip, I had a lot of thinking, and I was able to now change my mindset, and now pretty much weekly, daily, I'm looking at edits, I'm looking at videos, I'm looking at stuff. What can I do to make my page grow? And now I instead of treating it like a low-key hobby, I started being more public about it. I started putting it on my personal page. I started making my identity Moi Motions. That's what it started to be. But ever since I started editing, I've noticed I've gotten that motivation that I got in with swim. I'm watching videos constantly. Constantly asking myself, where could I fix this video? And now I'm looking at other editors. Instead of comparing myself to them, I'm saying, what can I do to get to where they're at? So the whole mindset has changed, and it's become a fun thing now. Instead of a hobby, I'm trying out to transition into a career. But before I do that, I pretty much wanted to take it step by step and make it a journey. Now this comes to chapter 4. Where are we going with this? This channel is going to grow with me. It's crazy to see people who I've never met, who I don't know personally, that they comment on my YouTube channel telling me like to keep going, to make more videos. And then I have people on Instagram or TikTok DMing me about that they like my video. These videos are cool. On TikTok, I had a couple people already ask me if I could do them a video. And the crazy part is I've gotten paid now to do videos. So this whole thing has just changed. It's made it something I never thought it was going to be. From starting with the iMovie, I never thought I would be making videos for people, and I especially never thought I'd be getting paid. I was still kind of like not sure if I'm even good, and at this point I don't even care if other people don't think I'm good. I'm just trying to get better. So this is pretty much introduction of the channel. I've been looking at people make vlogs and they make them cool. So I'm going to try to make this, at least exciting or somewhat interesting. But I finally just had to click the record button and I had to give it a try. I had to give it a go. So with this, I definitely want to see my growth in making vlogs and videos. For those that are still watching this, thank you. For those that just stumbled upon this video and made it to the end, thank you. Um, whether you hear whether whether you love cameras, filmmaking, or just in general want to see where this journey goes, guys, welcome. Please help my channel grow. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and welcome to Moi Motions. I will be making videos. My goal is to upload constantly every week. You guys could also go look me up on Instagram and TikTok. It is Moi Motions, the same thing as YouTube. That's MoiMotion. I'm gonna see how I do this edit, and then I'm gonna try to make more of these and try to fix them. So bear with me. And again, if you guys are still watching, thank you. I really appreciate you, and join the motion, and the journey continues.